Cool. Alright. I'm gonna be packing up my stuff. Oh, getting dressed to go outside. Do all that schmaz. That's gonna fall over. First, gotta get out of my bag. It's cold. I put heating bags in my socks, so my socks are warm. Just pull those right up, pants right down, and then the second sock. All of my heating bags I started yesterday before going to bed, and they're still fucking hot as shit. Yeah, I'll put those just in my boots for now. Make sure that I don't have a bunch of stuff lying around like this. That's my power bank. I put that in my watertight bag, which I then have to smush back together. Smush back together without letting a bunch of air into it. That's pretty alright. Like that. I should have some more like just miscellaneous things down in here, because here's one pair of gloves here, and I should have another pair of gloves. One under my butt. One. Where's the second one? Might be all the way down here. Oh. Yeah, the second one was at the bottom. This is my windproof pants that I wrapped around this hot water flask, which is starting to cool down, but that's fine. So I'm gonna put them on now. Basically, when I'm doing all my work, it doesn't matter too much that I'm like super warm, as much as just that I'm not freezing, and the wind makes you freeze. So I really only wear my like woolen underwear, and then this, my jacket I've not heated up. This thing's gonna be fucking cold. Oh, it is. It's very cold. Oh. Now I'm gonna have to check with this, but I already have a fucking tear in this, which is actually bullshit. They should be able to withstand way more than what I've done on this one single trip. Okay, we'll start off with checking that there's nothing left in the bottom of the bag. Yeah. Then I'm gonna have to do something very sad, and let's get out of my bag, which is so nice and comfy. I'm gonna put on, whilst I'm doing this, before I put on my actual boots, I'm gonna put on my little down booties. These things ought to keep me quite a lot warmer, even though they are cold from before. They tend to heat up nice and quick. Alright. So, the way you want to do this is the bag my sleeping bag. Sleeping bags you always want to tuck in with the bottom first, because if you tuck it in from the top first, you're going to trap all the air in and it won't fit. This way it all fits, even though it doesn't seem like it should. It will eventually. You just want to leave the opening to last. Actually, before I do the last bit, I want to untighten some of the things I have here. Make sure that it's nice and loose. Here we go. There's that. Can click this thing. There we go. Tighten that. In terms of camping, there's not really anyone else in the area that I'm in. But in terms of like hiking and running and biking, there's quite a couple. Been like 5 or 6 joggers since like 9 a.m. and now it's like nearing 12. Just want to get all of that air out. That way I can tighten it as much as possible. Maybe one more. There we go. That's the sleeping bag. Actually, wrong way. So with this one, you can either have it like this, if you want to pack it a bit loose, or if you want to tighten it, you put it back here, and it has straps on it. So you can make sure that it's fucking dead solid. This is actually twisting, which I don't want. That's that one twisting. Okay. Loosen this one and tighten. Oh, there's people ice skating outside on the lake like they did yesterday. Alright. Next part, which is even sadder because at this point I have to deflate my my mat, which means that I'll lose my only bit of insulation towards the ground, which means that it's about to get really cold for my butt. Alright. Oh, there is some condensation. My butt is immediately cold. Ay caramba. Alright, let's get this done and over with. I don't really even know if there's... Oh, holy moly, it's wet under here. Water is like, I guess like seeped through the tent because I'm literally laying on ice. Even though I did put plastic under. But I guess, I think we've melted down a bit, so I think the water has just gone in between the tent and the plastic. That's crazy. That's a first time experience. That might mean I might need a larger sheet next time. That also means But I need to dry my sleeping mat once I get home. See if I can get an okay angle at this. It's pretty rough. Yeah. This is also why it's important for me to wear these pants now and not later. They don't fucking freeze. Or no, they'll get wet. Even though I do have this hole right on my knee, which fucking sucks. That means my knee might get wet if I'm not careful. Alright. Okay, at this point as well, I want to wear my gloves. These gloves are waterproof, so I'll get pretty cold hands, but I won't have to fear them being wet, which I really don't want to have wet hands. So I have a lot of work to do that requires my hands to be dry. Oh. Yeah, you can see here. See how wet that is. Holy moly. Felt that there. You want to get as much air out of it as possible before you try rolling it. Oh. The recording stopped, and I was midway through packing my sleeping mat down. Now I will pack down the tent. First of all, this is like my little mat that I just keep on the ground. That's like a nice thing. I can just put all my stuff on that. The outside isn't wet, that's really good. It's just the inside because of condensation. Like condensation builds up like crazy when it's this cold. Which means that everything gets wet. I'll put you down because that's like a bit way too messy having to hold and try and do anything. There you go. So just get everything out of the bag and onto this mat. It's really everything you gotta do. So you can see. Oh, put this empty and you can see how wet it is. Goodness fucking gracious. I'll pack it down now. Let's see. Right there. It's actually pretty comfortably warm. I don't feel like I need to close this. It's better to just let my sweat and warmth kind of stay self-regulating. The poles are super icy from all the condensation that is like clung onto it, so I need to switch gloves again. Very important to use the right gloves for the right job. Those gloves will just get wet. And if they get wet, they get cold. These gloves are waterproof. They'll be slightly colder to wear when I use them, but they'll make sure that my fingers and hands actually don't get wet, like in the long run, which you really want. Get my little bag. Because now I'm gonna roll this whole tent out after I put away the poles. There we can see some puddles. Most of this is underneath. Most of this is melted ice. But I think like you'll see in a second that all of it has like kind of accumulated right around where I've been sleeping. Because I'm the one putting out the most warmth in this environment. Trying to put the wet side on the outside here. And I can just scoot this over to at least where it's a little bit drier. But like I don't know exactly how well it's worked, but in theory the plastic should have kept a lot of it out. Like there is a lot of water here. But I think there's way less than there could have been. Just because I was sleeping on pure ice. No. I'll take off. That's all. Into my bag. Now my hands are starting to get pretty cold from how wet everything is. Because this is pretty waterlogged. Alright, let's see. There you go. The whole tent inside. We stopped recording earlier, I'll just make sure it's still going. Yeah. So now my tent is in this bag, which I just got tighten this strap and pack up, and then do one of these and one of those. One of those. This is not the compression sack that came with the tent. The tent actually didn't come with a compression sack. It just came in like a loose bag. That's kind of because you're not really supposed to compress tents, but if you don't when you're going solo, it makes it really hard to pack. When I left yesterday, this like egg was way like more thin or more I guess fat, because I rolled it like a little not as wide, but now it's like really egg shape. Holy shit. Look at that. Let me take this off here. That's like essentially all the water that has like been underneath me when I've slept. That's a puddle. Like that's a puddle right there. Oh, this is fucking frozen solid. There we go. Oh no, it's just more ice underneath. There's more ice to go. And it's solid. It is really solid. Alright, I'll leave this for a bit. This is like seen many better days. I'll see if I can put it over this log here. But there's at least a place for all the water to run off to, which I need both my hands for, it seems. Ugh. I mean, the thing is, now that I'm not laying on it, like the ice is already like freezing again for the water. This is probably just gonna freeze up overnight. I can be able to tell that anyone was here. That's all my primary items done. I guess I'll just put a time lapse of me packing my backpack. all packed up. This is probably like frozen over already. Still a little wet. As you can see, ice and everything everywhere. I'll put on my backpack and show you because you can see it. I'm gonna jinx it, but I'm very confident this ice is thick enough to take me and my backpack and everything. Ooh, super slippery though. You can see all the really thin lines are for people ice skating. Nice. Camping trip over. Just gotta walk home for like half hour. Don't break your legs, slip on any ice. Then I gotta hang up all my stuff to dry, which that's pretty annoying, but I was kind of expecting it anyway, so nice.